Wildlife. Still a critical part of the world's ecosystem, in spite of the exponential growth in human civilization and modernity. Believe it or not, the significance of its conservation and protection cannot be overemphasized. Zambia's West Lunga Conservation Project holds this belief at the very core of its existence. The project was conceived in 2014 through a collaborative partnership between the Zambian government and the Trident Foundation, a corporate social investment vehicle of FQM Trident, which is a subsidiary of the global mining giant First Quantum Minerals. The project's focal point is the West Lunga ecosystem, a landmass of just under 12,000 square kilometers encompassing the little-known West Lunga National Park and 4 surrounding game management areas. Located in Zambia's northwestern province, the area sits partially in Mwenyilunga, Mufumbwe, Manyinga and Kalumbila districts. The West Lunga ecosystem was once a refuge for a multitude of wildlife species and even considered a breeding ground for elephants. However, over the past 50 years, most mammal species have been severely impacted by illegal hunting, resulting in many species becoming locally extinct. But today, not all hope is lost. With the help of Trident Foundation, the West Lunga Conservation Project is giving the ecosystem a fresh leash of life. The plan? To restore the wildlife population and maintain its ecological services so as to promote a wildlife industry in the surrounding communities. The process begins at the Trident Wildlife Sanctuary, an FQM facility that plays a critical role in providing a safe breeding ground for 13 introduced species.
The Trident Wildlife Sanctuary has 13 wildlife species that were introduced into the sanctuary, and the sanctuary acts as a breeding site. And once the animals have bred, they are used to restock, of course, the national park itself, which is West Lunga National Park, but also community game ranches that are formed by the communities and supported through the Trident Foundation. So the idea is to form within this area a wildlife economy, and a community that is aware of the importance of conserving wildlife and also enhancing their culture. As you know, wildlife is part of the local culture here. There are names that are associated with animals, and you can actually see even the tales from their stories, they very much associated with the wildlife. So it's not just bringing animals into the park and restoring the ecological function of the park, but also it's enhancing the culture and the livelihood of the people that live around this area.
After breeding numbers reach a satisfactory level in the sanctuary, the process of capture and transportation to the West Lunga National Park begins.
What we are using here is passive capture using a drop net. But also for eland and sable, we are darting them, immobilizing them through drugs area. So inside here, we have some impalas that were captured today, and then we're just building up numbers. So we'll load them onto the trailer to take them to West Lunga on Tangbo Community Game Ranch. So basically, capture activities are very stressful to the animal. But what we try to do is minimize that stress to a level where we are able to get the animals without experiencing a lot of mortalities. So this bomber is actually one of those methods to minimize the stress. Instead of holding them in your hands for a long time, we bring them in here, here they stabilize themselves, they regroup, and then we give them water and food. And then at the time of loading them, we just make sure the road trip is minimized without a lot of hindrances, and then until at the point of release when the animals are actually let go. But whilst the animals are here, we also do health assessments. We actually check for which animals are actually very good candidates for release or breeding wherever they are going. And also we also make sure that all the ticks, so we implement a form of tick control, deworming, and also if there's any wounded animal, we do all the interventions from here to make sure that the animals are actually in good fit before we release them.
The next step in the process is a 6-hour drive from the Trident Wildlife Sanctuary to the West Lunga National Park. A picturesque setting with conditions perfect for the natural survival and multiplication of the animals. The value of wildlife conservation to the Zambian economy is significant. Wildlife is a pillar of Zambia's tourism industry. According to a recent report by Zambia's Ministry of Tourism and Arts, the sector contributes $39 million annually to Zambia's economy. It also offers a viable option for economic diversification. Initiatives like the West Lunga Conservation Project are vital if this is to be achieved. At this point in the journey, the animals have been on the road for just over 5 hours and are nearing their destination. Now joined by officers from the Department of National Parks and Wildlife, the Trident Foundation team and the officers combine efforts to ensure that the last stretch of the journey is safe and smooth for their precious cargo.
First and foremost, I have to thank the Trident Foundation, our sponsor, who had that heart to bring in some animals to this West Lunga National Parks, because this park it is one of the biggest parks in Zambia, and it was depleted. So we are very grateful for bringing in animals which were depleted. Currently, we are having a recruitment at Chunga Wildlife. They are recruiting officers about 30. So that 30 officers, when they come, we are going to make sure that we protect our animals. We are going to have night patrols, day patrols, long patrols. We make sure that all those people who are intruding into this park are going to get to book. Because this park, it had a lot of animals before it was depleted. So we are appealing to these people who are entering into this park that they have to be aware that the security will be there.
After the tedious journey, the moment of truth finally arrives as West Lunga's newest tenants are set free.
In the long term, I think tapping in from the benefits and the thrust from the mine is that FQM would wish to create, apart from mining benefits, is also to create a wildlife economy within the local community where everybody can benefit, the local community, international tourists, and also the forex that they bring. So it's a win-win kind of situation. And of course, what FQM would like to see in future is that this mine, this national park becomes sustainable, fully supported by the community, and also demonstrate as an example of what private partnership would bring.
The message is clear. The conservation of wildlife is not a mere fad indulged in by those who have a sentimental interest in the subject. It has a much greater importance due to values difficult to measure but nonetheless real. Initiatives such as the West Lunga Conservation Project show as evidence of the power of public-private partnership towards developmental goals of the nation. Indeed, the First Quantum Minerals ethos of leaving the community in a better place than it found it is alive and tangible in the West Lunga conservation ecosystem. First Quantum Minerals. Bolder, smarter, driven, and together.